So my time from first playing Siege on Xbox, when I started out my very first season, I was a gold one. Until last season, I was a champ on Xbox, and I was getting the highest rank every single season. So after 4 years of playing Xbox, I built my own PC, and I actually switched to PC fully. I gave up on Xbox because I just wasn't learning anything, and I wasn't getting anything out of it besides getting stream sniped and dealing with the toxic 12-year-olds that still play it. So looking back, I just want to give the tips and tricks for what actually helped me get better in the long run. Because I remember being a gold one and thinking I can never be a diamond player or be a champ player. So in this video, that's what I'll be doing. I'll be breaking down just the basics of what helped me get better, and hopefully you can ingest it and use the tips and tricks. Enjoy the video. Thank you. Okay, so number one, I would first like to go over mentality. A lot of new players or gold and plat, like low plat level players, they start to get like this high ego for no reason. Like they start playing the game like it's Call of Duty and they just play very selfishly. At the end of the day, the reason why you're hard stock gold or hard stock plat isn't because your teammates, it's because of you most of the time. And that's hard. That's a hard pill to swallow. And having an ego is only going to get you so far. It's not going to do much for you. I don't care what your KD is, any of that shit. You have to look at KD and all that, like the stat sheet in general, as just a stat sheet. It doesn't actually show what you do in game. Like for example, Draymond Green. This is an NBA reference. If you don't understand, whatever. He's a very good defender, but most of the time they don't show that on the stat sheet. For example, they only show blocks and steals. So the stat sheet doesn't really show like denying plants, bandit tricking, just droning up for your teams. You don't get assists for droning your team. Like that, stat sheets don't matter. So when you get this ego, because say you have a good game and you're 14-3 or 14-4, and you're talking shit to like the thermite that's 2-4, that's droning everybody out, that's droning you in and getting you those assisted kills. That's a huge problem. And even if your friend is making a mistake, a lot of people end up just talking like amounts of shit to that person. Instead of doing that, you need to ask them, are they comfortable? Is there something you can do to help them play better? Because if you're playing great and you have somebody that's in a really pissed off mood playing bad because they're playing bad, you need to try to lift their spirit up. Instead of having an ego and talking shit to them and dropping them, like that's how you get better, and that's how you get people to become better. You gotta be a leader, not a follower, not a sheep. You just gotta be positive most of the time, and keep in mind that, oh yeah, even though he's 2-4 or 2-6, he still got the wall, or he's still bandit tricked, or he's still droned out for you. Number two is actually use of utility, because I remember when I first started playing Siege, it was all about like how using your utility properly. Like for example, instead of shock droning people, you would get rid of like cams and like any type of utility. People aren't using their utility properly, and they're not picking their ops over utility. They're picking it because of a gun or because they're fast as fuck. Like that shit should not matter. That's why I keep saying Alibi is a useless operator and one of the worst defenders, because even though she has a great weapon, she has a shitty gadget that most of the time you're not going to fall for. But yeah, she has impacts, yippee. There's better options. Like, for example, instead of picking a Rook, pick an Echo. Even though Echo's banned most of the time, just say if he's not banned. Or a Maestro. Or literally anybody with utility, like Mute or Mozzie. It's all about picking your operators based on utility so you can benefit your team in the long run. If you bring like an Intel op instead of a Rook, then, when you die, you have cams. It's simple shit like that. Or even like Capcan. Capcan is a great operator. He's just so underpicked. So you need to also put in the mindset of like, how can I better my team instead of how can I better myself? I'm going to keep saying this because this is an issue with gold and plat players. Okay, for this tip, it's just self-evaluation. If everybody struggles at different parts in the game, and you can always get better. Like, just because you're shit at something doesn't mean you're going to stay shit. For example, I used to be a very horrible window player, repelling, getting in gunfights while in windows. I would just avoid it. And then over time, I started doing it, and I got really good at it. Same with vertical play. I would never want to play vertical because those stupid little bars, you'd shoot them, and it was just a mess. It limited me as a player. For example, plat players on Xbox, at least when I was playing Xbox, I would notice nobody would play vertical because of that, because it's so awkward, or they were too worried about getting C4s, and they were playing very one-dimensional, just going right in the site, pushing in, and getting very aggro. So what I want you to do is try to analyze yourself, or ask your teammates that you usually play with or friends to point things out that you're doing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how you get better. If I'm doing something wrong and you think I did something wrong, I would want you to tell me. It's all about growing instead of egoing. I see a lot of players be like, "Yo, bro, you shouldn't have done this because da da da," and then you'll be like, "You're 2-7, bro. Shut the fuck up." So if you're actually on console like PlayStation or Xbox, and you're thinking about getting a Zim, which is a connector that lets you play mouse and keyboard on console, don't do it. I don't care in the long run if you're gonna go to PC or whatever. You're still gonna get into this brain dead mindset that you can just push anybody and outgun them. And when you go to PC, you're gonna get slammed because everybody can aim. And the Zim isn't even practice for MNK on PC because there's no delay on PC compared to what it is on Zim. Plus, you'll just get more respect from players if you're actually a controller. And I get it. People want to use loopholes. They want to cheat the system basically and just get better instead of learning to get better. So if you're having a hard time getting used to a controller and getting used to sensitivity, spend a lot of time in T-Hunt. I made previous videos on how to actually find your sense, and it is very simple. For example, I'm going to also talk about crosshair placement, because that's a huge issue in even plat on console. Like those 4 ticks that's on your screen, you should not be pre-aiming at the ground when you're not scoped in. You're going to lose most of your gunfights, and you're not going to hit heads. You're just going to hit toesies, and you're going to get shit on. My last piece of advice before ending this video is basically start watching a lot of Pro League and start watching like high elo streamers. And if you do watch streamers, don't go to like a console streamer that's using mouse and keyboard, because I don't know, they're just fucking awful, dog. But at the end of the day, you'll be able to like see how most of the operators' utility are used properly and efficiently, and you'll see how teammates are coordinated properly. Because when you go into ranked and you don't have many people to play with, they're not going to play coordinated. They're going to play very selfishly. And even if you do play like solo queue or whatever, your best bet is to try to do your best operator based. Like, say you guys need thermite, you go fucking thermite. I don't care if you're top fragging. At that time, you need to just do as much as you can to win, because you also need to ask yourself, are you playing to win or are you playing for your rank? Because that's 2 different things. If you're so worried about your rank, you're going to play like shit, and you're just going to be angry, you're going to get flustered, you're going to burn out very fast. So one thing I hope whoever's watching, I hope this sparks improvement and just thought. That's the whole basis of this video, because that's what I did to get better. Is I just analyzed myself, watched a lot of streamers, watched a lot of YouTubers, and like I just casually got better. Because just at the end of the day, all this game is, it's not Call of Duty. It is not based on kills. It is based on how you use your utility properly and how you coordinate with your team. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday around 3 p.m. Eastern. All my links will be in the description. You have a wonderful day. I hope this somewhat helped. Thank you.